You know, Caleb, summer may be over, but that doesn't mean you stop gardening.
That's right.
It doesn't? All right, we're continuing fall into the season week now with fall gardening tips from fourth-generation farmer and New York Times bestselling author, Kaleb Wyse.
Hey,
Hi.
Caleb.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's good to be back, and usually when I come, apparently now I bring compost with me.
Yes.
So we have compost in here to start. What are we going to do with our garden beds as we're getting into the season? Even if you live in different areas, there are some universal tasks. And these first are the universal tasks. So if you have a garden bed that has debris left on it, maybe it's starting to look a little spent, a little gross, we're going to remove that and we're going to compost it.
Okay.
So anything that's good still you can harvest. If you have Swiss chard or anything, harvest it. But now let's pretend this is the compost. So we're putting this green material into compost, and we're gonna add whatever other material we have from our yard.
Leaves?
Okay. Great thing to add to your compost pile. Now, if you can get home shredders, or you can mulch them up with your mower. If they break down a little bit more, they're gonna break down in your compost even quicker, but they add great organic matter to compost, and they're free. They're in our yards, we have them all the time.
Caleb, I'm not sure if you've heard this. Did you know there's a north and a south?
It's breaking news here. There are different parts, and we all do have different things. But these first parts, the best thing is, they work really wherever you live. So in the fall, going into winter, I say I do this, I don't always do this, but if I could, I would always do it. I clean all my tools up. So I actually brought one of my pruners. So after a year of just using it,
You do not clean your pruners.
I know you need to.
I know you need to,
No,
but you do not.
Once in a while I do. And we should. No, so the thing is, they get debris on them. They also should be sterilized. You should sterilize them often.
Really?
Okay.
But really they get, whatever you're cutting, sticky. So I first clean them off with steel wool, any rust, get them
And then
clean.
lubricate them, yeah?
That too. Then I want to lubricate them, make sure they work well, and sharpen them. Just because you want them to be always a clean cut, whatever you're using, that's the best.
Okay.
Okay, we're breaking down plants by region, yes?
We're gonna start kind of in the Midwest where I'm from, here in the Northeast, somewhat the same no matter where you live in those two regions. And what we're thinking is bulbs. So anytime we usually get to spring, a lot of my followers will say, I want all the blooming, when do I plant tulips? You have to think of it now. And that's always the hard part, but you also want to make sure you do it correctly. Bulbs have correct depths because they need chill hours during the winter. They need to stay cold, usually 40 to 50 degrees. So you want to plant them 4 to 6 inches deep. This is also the time, and you can take this apart if you want.
Sure.
I brought one of my garlics. I grow garlic every year, and you plant that in the fall.
Okay.
But you don't plant it just like it looks, because each of those individual cloves is going to, you just rip it apart. Just like pretend you just really want to get in there.
It's hard to do it with the gloves.
Yeah.
You're being so nice to it. Yeah, there. So each one of those individual cloves becomes a whole head of garlic next year.
kidding.
Yeah. So if you plant it like that.
Plant it like that.
Individual heads, and make sure they're sticking in, point up, and that's going to be the roots going down.
Oh.
So if you give it a head start in the fall.
And that's also 6 inches as well?
It's like 4 to 6 inches.
6.
Usually I go closer to 6 inches, so make sure it has enough coverage over the winter.
Okay, let's move to the southwest. Southwest.
Southwest, they have different climates, so they're gonna stay warmer than we are. They still have less daylight, but you can still garden a lot in that less daylight if you have kind of the right things you're planting. So these are the things we can plant. If you can't find seedlings, which obviously where I live you couldn't either, you want to plant the seeds, which really for all your lettuces, for all your greens, seeds makes the most sense. I know people buy seedlings of like spinach or arugula. That makes no sense to me. You're gonna have so much more if you just plant the seeds.
Okay.
So directly sow them, and if you live there, do soft neck garlic, because it's going to do better in that climate.
Soft nut garlic?
Neck.
Oh, soft neck. Okay, got it. Sorry.
All right, more fall gardening tips when we come back. Stick around.
We're back with Kaleb Wyse, and he's breaking down what to plant in your garden this fall. What's next?
So a lot of these do work at different areas. So just like I am at home, if you're in the Northwest or kind of the upper West Coast, you can still plant a lot of those spring blooming bulbs that are gonna bloom next year, but you plant them in the fall. So right here we have a beautiful allium bulb. This is the one of my favorite, actually, flowers. This is the one that everyone sees in the spring. It's that big purple globe that everyone thinks, what is that? You plant it now. There are bigger bulbs, so you plant usually the bigger they are, the deeper they go to make sure they get that depth and they stay in those chill hours. Okay. So we also, in the kind of that area, can plant certain greens, but sometimes, so we have kale here, we have some spinach. They can kind of be on the in-between where sometimes they get cold nights.
Okay.
So if they do, we have frost cloth. So in those areas, if you're gonna get, you have something sprouting in the garden, it usually should be able to live over the winter. You can cover it with some frost cloth, and that's gonna make sure it's protected on those extra cold nights.
Okay.
Do you tuck it in at night as well?
Yeah, like how do you
kind of go around
story,
and just,
a little bedtime story?
Yeah, you could do that. You could sing to it a little bit, maybe. But honestly, this is great for pests too. If you have rabbits or something, it's gonna keep them out.
Okay.
That's what I love about it.
All right, Canada.
So yes, we're going into the transition. This one kind of works for all areas: Canada, Northwest, Northeast, Midwest. I just went to do this in the South. So any of my perennials, I actually went out and clipped some spent perennials here for you. I leave them over the winter for multiple reasons. So if I have rudbeckia, if I have ornamental grasses, if I have nepeta, any of those things, I leave because good insects, pollinating insects are going to hibernate in these over the winter. They actually will go in some of the stems that have hollow stems, and they're really important to leave them for them. Also, birds will come and eat some of the seeds. So all these things add winter interest, but are really beneficial. So leave them until next spring. Late winter, then you can kind of cut everything back because everything will come alive, and then you're good to go.
Ah, okay.
Got it.
But last for Canada, and this isn't just for Canada, they have lots of maple leaves, right?
Yes.
So they have other trees too, but this is again a great time. If you don't want to add them to your compost, if you leave them too heavy on your lawns, they will start killing the lawn. They will start getting too tight, so you want to at least mulch them up, mow them, do something, and that's great just self-compost for the yard too.
Okay.
Great. Perfect.
All right,
Kaleb,
thank you, Caleb.
so much.
You can pre-order a copy of Caleb's annual guide to the holidays now. Head over to our website for more information. We'll be right back.